What's up, dude?
What's
How you doing?
happening? I'm doing well.
There's Caleb. How's your Christmas?
It was really nice hanging with the fam. How was yours?
Good food.
Yeah.
It was pretty good until like, midday. It was just
Yeah.
like
Got a little
struggling.
stressful.
Just the usual Eagles games as of late.
Pretty much
But
all year. I don't know about as of late. It's kind of just been wild all year long.
family members on the edge, little tense, didn't know how to react to me on the couch, keeping their distance. Probably pretty smart of them.
How'd your
Love it.
dad feel about the Raiders game?
Oh, he was stoked. I mean, who wouldn't be? Like, what a crazy game.
Yeah, for real.
Seeing Taylor Swift like consoling, what is it, Brittany Mahomes in the box. Priceless.
Odd. Can't put like literally every time he caught a pass was like, and how is Taylor reacting? I don't even
Oh,
want to watch their games. I don't have
It's
to
just been,
because my fantasy season's over.
yeah.
oh yeah, Jeff beat me out for fifth. Good job, Jeff.
Thank you.
Very nice, Jeff.
Patrick's team doesn't show in the second round. Nobody's team really did except for Rose.
Row had one player really show up.
But you got a
We got
row
us.
Corey championship matchup coming up here, and old Lindo boys, original members of the league when we started as NorCal versus a SoCal fantasy football league a long time ago. So they're gonna battle it out. We'll see what happens. Corey won 2 years ago, I believe, and Rowe I think has won twice.
At least twice, yeah.
Just truly unfortunate. Nobody knew this year again.
Boo.
What is the updates on the panhandling? That's next week.
Yeah, so it's coming down to just how we all expected it to be. Wade versus Jason for the panhandling Sacco.
The two of the
And
donkiest there
it's
are.
looking like
I could pull it up.
$20 or however much you spent on the free agency. So Jason spent nothing, so he would have to do 20. And Wade, I think, spent like 30
And
something.
39, I think.
Okay, so
Something.
he would be a little bit over the 20, but yeah. Alex Reyes sneaks it out
Yeah.
after dropping 150
Good
on a
for
guy
Reyes.
clearing his budget on that Miami running back. So
He
did
had
it
to
pay
do
off
that.
for him?
He'd probably have to do that in Stockton. That'd
Yeah,
just be so
that'd be
bad.
scary.
Okay.
Yikes.
Downtown Stockton.
Yeah.
Right
I
next to
don't
the
know what
arena.
we're gonna do next year. We have a lot of ideas to change up the league. I think we're gonna try to hit restart and refresh on a lot of things.
I was just gonna say I actually was gonna approach you guys about Dynasty, but that's for like another time. Serious about getting a handful of schlobs for a serious
Yeah.
Dynasty league.
Connor'd be into that too.
Hell yeah.
So right now, as it stands, Jason is projected to just throttle Wade.
You called it, Caleb, maybe about 6 weeks ago, saying that Wade's team is just absolutely terrible. If he doesn't do anything soon, he's not gonna be looking pretty.
His best player is probably Noah Brown. Not his best player is Debo Samuel, but behind that is Devontae and Noah Brown. That's about it. He
Yikes.
has Jake Browning and Sam Howell as his quarterbacks. So apparently
Nice.
drafting only Las Vegas players was not the move this year. That could be next year though.
At least this time he picked, I hope, the people that he wanted, and he picked instead of who did he pick that one time? He picked Hunter Renfro instead of picking Josh Jacobs, I think.
There's something
I
like
don't
that.
know. It was someone really bad.
I think he picked an injured receiver before like other legitimate people. He's like, no, it's gonna be fine, or something along those lines.
Yeah, I was looking back to those draft pictures, and man, I wish we could go back and relook at a lot of things that happened, especially in those first couple rounds. Just a
That could be an
lot of
off-season
wasted picks.
off-season video.
Totally. Bust, bust. There's so many
Any
busts.
anyway, you guys
Um,
want to get in talking week 16?
yeah, week
Yeah.
16 review. Do you guys want to start with the most recent games?
Yeah,
Christmas.
sure.
Starting off with the Sunday night game, Ravens
Yeah.
visiting the 49ers.
Well, that was awesome. That was just an absolute smackdown, and I loved watching every second of it, especially after watching Dallas just poop the bed.
I second that too. Right after my game, I thoroughly enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
I don't see 49ers throwing 5 interceptions again. It was impressive by the Ravens defense away. Just come out with that victory in such a dominating fashion.
They were like
Yeah.
one George Kittle twisted knee away from that being an absolute disaster.
Yeah, and 49ers coming away with it looks like a lot of injuries. We'll see how serious they are.
Jesus. That always happens to him.
What are your thoughts, Jeff?
I was a little surprised by the domination, that we saw. I thought San Francisco would be able to put up some more points than that, but yeah, like you said, that's just like Brock Purdy MVP votes just tanked, 4 picks. It was just crazy. Was not expecting this kind of a score.
I'm glad it happened in San Francisco. Like I'm really, really happy that they just took a shellacking at home in front of all those fans that are just so on again, off again fans, the entire Bay Area. But anyway, I'm down to move on from that game. Well, they're gonna be fine, and I gotta pull up the playoff machine, see what kind of things we have here going in the
I
last
I feel
couple
like
weeks.
every good team has had, losses against good teams and some bad teams this year. There's nobody like with the perfect record, only one loss. Everybody's at least 12-3 or 11-4, had a couple of bad losses. Even the Ravens earlier in the season had a couple of bad losses, I remember. So
Well, they're the league leader at 12-3 right now.
yeah, just shows
Um,
nobody's perfect.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there was nowhere near a perfect team this year, which doesn't really speak too much to that there's mediocrity in the league, but so much more that coaches are better at scheming against each other, I think.
Definitely.
Because there's been a lot of just like, I don't know, shit hitting the fan weeks where upset after upset after upset after a really close game, or a team just getting absolutely smoked where they were like 11 or 12 point favorite. There's been
Yeah.
a lot of those.
Like 4 Monday night upsets in a row, basically.
Yeah.
And tough for the pool.
Yeah.
Moving
Oh
on.
my God.
You can take your game away, Andy.
Yeah, let's talk about that game. Oh my God. Well, to get the good out of the way, we got the win. So thank God for that. Albeit it still feels like a loss, to be honest, to like the true Eagles fans out there. We know that this feels as much of a loss as it is a win, but we just know they can play better. I think that's really what it is. We know they have a lot of talent and they've just been underperforming. I think what's really concerning to me is when I just saw like this post-game locker room speech from Nick Sirianni. It's supposed to be like the victory speech, hurrah, and then none of the players. You can just tell the vibe was completely different. It felt like a loss in there. It felt very silent, and they weren't really like something is just off in the locker room, and I actually don't know. Like, I can't put my finger on what it is. Jalen's also been regressing a little bit too. Obviously, his play played a little bit better in this game, but the turnovers still. So it's a lot of things the team needs to clean up, but a little bit concerning internally. Like I said, don't know exactly what's going on.
Well, I mean, it's a division game, so those are always pretty tight. Doesn't really matter where you play. And you never want to lose to that team. So even if it's a scrappy team, you kind of play down to that level. The thing that was most surprising was Philly's definitely they've lost a step. They were much faster, and it's probably just, the wear and tear of the season. They're not just outpacing everyone and then just running away with it in the second half like they had been doing. They really got to build up a lead at first in the game, or else they're just going to kind of tire out, it seems like. There was one thing in here that I saw. I'm looking at the stats on this, but it caught my eye, but that was a while ago. Anyway, being a division game, I guess those things happen. If the Eagles slip up though one more time, I think they might lose the division. So they got to be focused against the Cardinals, who can pull it out. And who you guys play week 17?
We go back to
You guys play
Giants
the
again.
Giants? Yeah. So
Yikes.
on the
Yeah.
road too.
Yeah. And if there's a chance for them to upset you and out of the division or something, they're going to play their hearts out for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I picked the Cardinals this past week. I'm not sure why. Kind of not sure what I'm doing to pick them, but they're scrappy. They can score points sometimes if they, can get it going. I think they bounce back, have a big win.
They are 10.5 point favorites against the Cardinals this upcoming week at home. I mean, they should just wipe them out. The Cardinals are so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's hope
I agree.
so. Do we want to move on to the last Christmas game?
Yeah.
Just the
The
first
ultimate
game.
shocker
The Las Vegas Raiders upset the Kansas City Chiefs.
in Arrowhead on Christmas. Hold the Chiefs to, was it 2 touchdowns? I guess it was only 1 touchdown early on for a long time.
14
Yeah.
points.
Yeah. Raiders 7-8 battling.
Aiden O'Connell, 9 for 21 for 62 yards.
Jesus. Well, it was
That's
back to back like defensive touchdowns, wasn't it?
Something
yeah,
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, whew, they
that was
just
pretty
they
sweet.
just look so off. Kansas City does. There's nobody out there that looks like they want to catch a ball. This looks weird.
They should do how Army plays and just do a bunch of just like triple option stuff everywhere because their running game's like actually pretty solid. And then every now and then, if they just have a dump off pass to Kelsey or something that just kind of involves him off some like tackle runs or something, they'd probably be playing fine. Their receivers are so bad. As soon as they get like 7 yards away from the line of scrimmage, they are just they
Toast.
have separation skills.
Yeah. And you guys see Travis Kelsey toss his helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Andy Reid won't let him get it back, too.
Yeah, pretty much just like, no, he is done. He has taken himself out of the game.
Chiefs play. I think they had a tough game next.
I know
Oh,
their last game
oh,
is
Chiefs play the
against
Bengals and then
Bengals.
at Chargers.
Oh, Bengals.
Yeah.
Okay.
And currently they are 7-point home favorites. It opened at 8.
Okay.
People threw some money down on Cincy right away.
other games, some other upsets that just kept happening. New England Patriots beating the Broncos 26 to 23.
That sucked in the pool.
Sucked in the pool, but good for my Texans. I did not want to have to keep fighting the Broncos also for like one playoff spot that's going to be available.
Yeah.
I didn't see much of this game, but I saw enough that the Broncos just let's ride.
I'm so annoyed the one time I pick them, then they lose.
I know, right? I picked them too. Like, how are you supposed to pick the Patriots? They looked so bad at times.
Bailey Zappi.
Yeah, I guess he had that good game against Pittsburgh.
Texans have Cleveland next too. That sucks.
No,
Colts
they just played Cleveland.
Let's talk about
Oh,
that
what?
game.
They lost. Yeah, they got thrashed by
Then
Amari
what am I
Cooper's
looking at?
265 yards, 2 touchdowns. It
Up to
was
date.
just over before it even started.
Joe Flacco, comeback player of the year.
I think
Probably.
well, nah, I think Hamlin's gonna get it.
Has he even
But
played?
He's played like 1 or 2 games.
he's
Barely.
still like the heavy favorite.
That's great. I mean, I get it's a feel-good story. I get it, but like, what has he really done?
Yeah,
this
no,
year, you
Flacco's
know?
pretty sweet. Yeah, I think that's a
He's
sweet pick.
Flacco is single-handedly carrying them to the playoffs.
Yeah.
They were dead in the
Deshaun who?
water.
Paid
Dorian.
Deshaun all that money.
So, anything else you
Uh,
want to say about that game, though, about or your team? No Stroud, so
I mean, no Stroud, so it's tough to get anything going. We had a little bit of a pop in the second half, a bit more, but there's not going to be any magic to that team without Stroud. So hopefully he can come back this week. They got Tennessee and then Indy, I think, left. It's going to be tough, but I think they can hopefully pull it out. Jacksonville could lose out and we could try to take the division. For those other 2 playoff spots, looks like, Browns have one of them locked up, and the Dolphins or the Bills, have the other one locked up, winning that division. So it's not going to be a lot of spots available.
Yeah, the Bills, their resurgence knocked you guys out, I think.
Pretty
At
much.
one point, the Bills were like 30-1 to make the playoffs, which is just insane.
Well, the
But
Colts, Texans, and Jags are all now 8-6.
8-7.
8-7, sorry. So what's gonna
Colts,
whatever
Texans,
happens,
Steelers, Bengals.
Yeah,
There's
and then the
4,
Bengals
yeah.
are still there.
Um,
Steelers,
Well,
I
losing
don't
to the
see it.
Steelers didn't help them. Nah, Steelers need to get past Texans and the Colts, which I don't think they
yeah,
will.
I don't see it either.
You want to talk about your Cowboys Dolphins game? Are you ready to get into that? You want to do a few others? Just knock out some easy ones first.
I'll just be quick with mine. And it really has to just center around how is Micah Parsons not getting any holding calls? Because it's just replay after replay of him like a hold me back comic where they're like holding this guy back while he's trying to like get at him and stuff. Every play. And finally he'll get like a half sack because he has just taken his offensive lineman that's guarding him and then is just sandwiched that offensive lineman finally into the quarterback and taking them both down. And the amount of drives that are just kept open because of all these just non-holding calls, and then we'll just get something immediately to like kill our next possession or something. It's just outrageous. Also, we just commit way too many penalties anyway. The other thing that was super annoying was it didn't rain the entire day except for the second and third quarters, which is like we just had a ton of momentum in the first quarter. It rained a ton and seemed like it was kind of windy too, so it just changed the whole dynamic of the game. We couldn't just kick out that funk. I have thought for weeks now we're just going to be the wild card team. So it's just I hope it shuffles the way that is most beneficial for the Cowboys, because I think right now in the NFC there's the Rams and the Seahawks, and they are both playing pretty well, especially the Rams right now. And the Rams could come in and they could just beat the Lions. And I don't want to play the Niners the second round. I'd rather play the Eagles. So if someone can just upset behind us, that would be awesome. But I think it'll go Niners Eagles 1-2.
I thought Miami wasn't going to get away with kicking as many field goals as they did. I thought Dallas was doing a good job of
Oh my God. The
at
guy
least
kicked
holding
like two
them.
career longs. Jason Myers,
But
he had a career long was his first kick of he had 4 field goals.
and
So the
one to win
defense
at
is
the end. So it was like I thought it wasn't going to be enough, but it ended up being okay. But defense held on. Just needed to score some more points.
Cowboy third quarters are just so trash. It's just a wasted quarter, like every single week in and week out. And they need to fix that up, or I don't know. They always lose their steam going into that, and that's exactly when Miami took over. But fumbling
Yeah.
on the 1 yard line didn't help. That
Oh
wasn't the
yeah.
end of the game. Like that was
Yeah.
super annoying, but that you can get out of that real quick. But I think Jalen has 20. No, he has 15 rushing touchdowns this season. Is that what I saw?
Yeah. Technically, it's the most in a season because it beat
Yeah,
Cam Newton.
exactly. Just do that with Dak. You're
Yeah.
on the one.
Yeah,
Just
and you
literally, he's
gotta
like,
you guys have a great line too.
just push him forward.
Like go behind Frederick or
Oh, we
no, or
don't
not
have
Frederick. I
Yeah.
mean, sorry, Zach Martin.
we don't have to give it to a rookie fullback. Like give it to the rookie fullback on like a 4th and 1, like on our own 40 or something. But not when it's like the first drive. Let's just, make a statement and everything. Cause I mean, we got lucky on their first drive because Tyreek just dropped what would have been a touchdown. It could have been 7-0 back-to-back plays. But we have the Lions this upcoming week at home. I feel pretty good about that. I actually don't know the line. I haven't looked it up yet. I'm going to guess Cowboys by, they always get a ton of money. I'm going to say Cowboys by 7,
Is it in
maybe
Dallas?
7.5. It's in Dallas. Cowboys by 6. Okay. Opened at 5.5.
My only comment on the Cowboys game and just Cowboys in general is I think they're a solid team. The game doesn't really change too much, even though I had Dolphins picked. I don't think of them too differently after the loss. But I think the one thing that stands out maybe is that I've just noticed they seem to be a little bit more vulnerable on the road. And then at home appear to be just a really stronger team. So that's the thing that I just noticed a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, it
This
would be
season.
nice to have the Eagles slip up and we can win the division and get a home game or two out of this, but I just don't see that happening. So they got to break out of that. Good teams win on the road. You can't just rely on your, own home crowd stuff. You got to buck up for that. They've had some close losses on the road. This one, the Philly game, was a really close loss. Got blown out, though, in my opinion, against the Cardinals and the Niners and the Bills. So let's see. We won on the road against the Panthers and the Chargers. Awesome.
And the Chargers is
Yeah,
like
that
it's like
Chargers
a
game was
Cowboys
close.
game.
So yeah, the
Chargers.
Chargers game was a field goal game right at the end.
How about another surprise game? Tampa Bay just trouncing Jacksonville.
They're playing so good. I put some money down in Vegas this last week on them to make the playoffs, so I'm feeling pretty good about that now.
They might win the division. They
They're
will.
they're leading it now. Everyone's looking in at them.
Good for me. I wanted the Jags to lose. Trevor Lawrence is just like falling apart day by day.
He's injured again too.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield just looking great. He has like the same stats as Mahomes this year, pretty much side by side comparison.
Nice.
I don't have much more to say about that game. I stupidly picked the Cardinals going into the Bears just because I had no faith in the Bears. You never know which team you're going to get with them either.
They're still
I was
technically
hoping for
in
an
the
upset.
playoff hunt. The
Really?
Bears. Yeah,
6
they
and
haven't been
9.
they have not been eliminated yet. Tampa Bay has Saints Panthers left. So 2 division games.
Okay.
And I would think they're favored definitely in both of them. This one they're favored by 3 against New Orleans. And then it's the Panthers week 17 is just they could beat the shit out of them.
It is on the
Panthers
road.
played well. They fought hard in
Yeah,
that Green Bay game.
They just ran out of time, it looked like.
Basically. Yeah. It was back and forth.
Well, their first game, the Tampa Bay only won by 3 at home right at the end. Carolina could pull it together, be, that 2-15 team we've always thought they were.
No, don't forget, they
I
already have
hated
2
the
wins
Texans
because they
beat.
beat the Falcons.
Oh, they did beat the Falcons.
Yeah.
9-7. Classic.
Let's go to the Falcons.
Okay.
I was wrong.
Oh, I finally did it. This week I was thinking there's no way the Falcons are going to win. And so for like the whole week I had it set.
Seriously.
And then I just changed it right at the end because I was like, nope. I always pick what Atlanta's going to do opposite of what I'm feeling. So let's just change it now. And poof, there you go.
Colts look terrible. Finally, though, Arthur Smith uses guys like Bijan had like a lot of touches and
Yeah.
carries and
And
passes.
go figure. They win.
Surprise, surprise.
Kyle Pitts, throw to him. He scores a touchdown.
For as bad as those two teams really are, they had 92% attendance at that game. Like people love the Falcons. It's kind of crazy.
Don't get it.
I mean, I would go to see their skill players. It's just I just want to see them play.
I was watching that Tampa Bay game and there's like no one there.
Yeah.
Kind of nuts. And it's Jacksonville. It's like a local team.
May have been terrible weather.
Yeah, I'm still a little surprised. Bijan did get 12 carries though, but Tyler Algier 9, Cordero 7. They like to rotate.
Running back by committee there, I guess.
They need to get Kyle Pitts in the backfield. Just bulldoze people.
There were a couple other close games.
I almost landed a Rams winning between 13 and 18 points, and it was at 16. And Emily and I were walking, and I stopped her. And I'm like, oh my God, okay, can we watch like the last couple minutes of this game? Because I forgot what the exact odds were, but it would have been like a $35 or $40 pickup. And as soon as it comes down to like the Rams have to punt, I turned to her and I'm like, okay, the only thing that's bad that could happen here is if they come in and they block the punt somehow, because we want the ball to go really far down the field. And so they tip the punt. It only goes like 30 yards. And then like the second play, I'm telling them like, okay, so here's what's going to happen. They're going to go really deep to the end zone, at least on one of these plays, because they just kind of have to. They got to score twice and they only have, 3 minutes left or something. And like the second play, they just go so deep to Olave and he gets this crazy catch and they score and it's an 8-point win in the end. And I'm like, fuck.
This is the Schlab bad beats.
Yeah,
seriously.
That was, my bad beat. That and trusting Kansas City to do literally anything. They ruined a couple parlay bets.
Tough.
Just a couple more games. Seahawks Titans. That was like a thriller at the end, but I actually missed a lot of it. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, that was a really good game. And I thought the Titans were going to pull it out because I think they went up early on them too. They had scored because of
Metcalf.
Because Derrick Henry threw a pass.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
like right away.
He averages one a year.
Yeah, he threw a pass, and that's how they scored it first. And I remember them just going into the halftime like, oh my God, Tennessee's gonna fucking do this, because I obviously picked Seattle like most people, but Seattle's been playing really good recently. They're just kind of put their nose to the ground, and they have that Pete Carroll swag to them. So
yeah.
That's why I think they could be
games.
They could be tough in the playoffs, Andy, if you see them.
Don't remind me.
Sure, but they have a ceiling because of Geno. He could play well, but you just never know. He's just gonna have one of those just bad games.
Yeah, I would think the Eagles are a pretty solid matchup for them, just because they need to be able to throw to perform well, and you can throw on Philly.
Well, I like your optimism because we haven't beaten them in like 10 years.
Seattle?
Thanks.
Yeah.
Damn.
With a thriller of Washington, New York Jets that went down to the wire. I've tried to pick the Commanders in an upset and almost pulled it off after they were like down, I think 30-7.
Yeah, they
something
put
like that.
Brissett in, I think, at one point.
Yeah.
They were down 27-7.
Yeah.
At half.
27-7. And the Jets' only other points they scored in the second half was the last 2 seconds kicking a field goal to win.
Greg,
that was another one I changed in the morning because I saw the weather was so bad.
I hate the Jets, and I just wanted to pick the Commanders. Just try to pull it off an upset. You just never know if the Jets are going to be able to put up any points or not.
The only consolation to Washington losing, other than it's awesome that they lose, is knowing that that guy from Portland had to suffer.
Yeah, that guy sucked.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
I pick my Jets games now. If Zach Wilson's not playing, then I might give them a chance. That was Simeon, so
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even see that. Maybe I should have thought about that.
yeah.
Lions pulled it off, won the division for the first
Won
time
the
in 30
division.
years.
Yeah.
30
Um,
years. Wow.
Nick Mullins played an okay game,
That guy looks like a little kid.
but
Just
they
looks
were
like a
in it for a
14-year-old kid.
while. They were in it. He threw
Oh
a
yeah.
pick at the end, but they were in it.
Yeah, divisional game. Yeah, gotta be
Yeah,
close.
like
That's
you
what I was
said,
gonna say.
close fighting at home.
Well, Detroit has, yeah, they won the division. I think Green Bay is really the only other team that can pull off a playoff spot from the North, but it's going to be tough for them to even do that now.
I'm looking forward to that Saturday night game though. Lions at Cowboys.
Should be good. Any others that we missed? Oh,
Yeah.
the Bills Chargers. Chargers gave it a chance at the end. Bills are just looking better and better.
So wacky
I've
week.
noticed. They just look more like the Bills from a couple of years ago, these last month or so.
Yeah, they're getting
Yeah.
hot at a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the pick'em. It's gotten very
Yeah.
close for overall standings with 2 weeks to go. Carl snuck out another win this week, getting the tiebreaker correct. But in overall standings, it's Corey with 153. Andy and I tied in second, 151. Leslie at 149 and Caleb at 148.
Nice.
Maggie 146, Carl, my mom, a few other people 145. So very close. Anything can happen these next few weeks. I lost a few on Corey that week, so it's gonna go right down to it. What do you got for this week?
I was looking, there's a few divisional ones. I was trying to find anything juicy, but the best one does look like Lions Cowboys, and then probably the next one would be Dolphins Ravens.
Yeah, Dolphins could
Nice.
actually pull off a big upset, I think.
I could see
That's gonna
that
be
too.
a tough pick. Yeah.
If
don't know.
Ravens were to win, that probably solidifies them as the number one.
Big game for them for sure. Both
Um,
teams.
Your Texans play the Titans, like you mentioned, at home. Hopefully get Stroud back.
Yeah, I need a win bad for sure. Would go a long way. Everybody keeps losing, so we need that, but we need to win. Need Stroud back for sure, or else the season's over.
Do you risk it though? Do you risk him just getting more injured, or do you?
If he's okay, for sure. I don't know.
I guess if you're in
if
position, you
not,
just gotta
then
keep pushing.
I guess not. Then just ride Keenum, I guess. They brought Davis Mills in. He had a couple of touchdown drives. You never know, man. I don't know. I would want to see him play as a fan at least. But if he's not okay, then he's not okay.
It would be a little concerning if he missed like his third game from a
For sure.
concussion, though.
Yeah, for sure. I would be more concerned. We'll see how he practices this week and go from there.
Any more final thoughts?
Just hope the Cowboys can just rebound. I mean, they've clinched a playoff spot, so I'm not too worried about that. But they need to either start taking these last couple games to try out some things and see if there's some extra, creases in the offense that can work that they can throw out, or try different guys in different formations to see if there's anything special they can work out. But the defense is really good at bend, don't break. And hey, I don't know, man.
I don't know who to pick, honestly, in that game. It's going to be tough for me to choose.
Go
Lions are
Lions.
hot, riding high. They might slip. It's going to be a tough choice for me. I don't know who to pick as a.
We need a division. Go Lions.
Go
Shablavish.
Cardinals.
Shablavish. Thanks, y'all, for tuning in to the Schlabcast.
Go Texas teams.
We'll schlab you later.
Make sure subscribe.
And have a
Like-
happy new year, everybody.
Yeah,
Yes,
schlab
yes.
that beesh. Happy New Year.